Rob's boy over in 2003 to win the Doomben Classic and the Rough Habit Plate. Won them both, and it now brings Werther here, already a winner.
Yeah, look, he was so impressive last week, beating Moriarty at weight for age. He's the right favourite. He was second in Adelaide in the Derby. It's hard to pick against him, and for Jim Byrne it would be some sort of a day.
Kieran McAvoy and Peter Moody have the two up them, and this one probably the one of the few that is in inside double figures as Werther takes a stranglehold on the betting.
And that, Pat's, because he's got all the right form. Second in the Gunsin, second in the Rough Habit, wins the Grand Prix. The Grand Prix has been a solid race leading into the Derby. So, look, he's got the right form. It's just that Werther was so impressive last week.
Peter and Sarah retain 85% in the gelding as well. Number 3, Sadler's Lake, for the Wallace stable.
Won the Rough Habit 2 starts ago. Had no luck in the Grand Prix when he was favourite last start. He led, he got taken on. Be interesting to see what Blake does here. Blake Shin, he's got a wide draw. He's a chance.
The 4 is the Toowoomba Guineas winner, and it's Sam Armitage just picking the race. And I just have a quick look at the betting at the moment, about $21 in the ring.
6th in the Grand Prix, only beaten a couple of lengths, ran well in the Rough Habit, won the Toowoomba Guineas. Look, he's a solid horse, he's won 400,000.
Magicool is the 5 for Mark Kavanagh and James Winks.
Ran 5th in the Victoria Derby. I mean, that's good form. He was 4th in the South Australian Derby. He beat Kenjiwood last start in Melbourne. I think he's a chance.
Interesting local combo here, Justin Stanley and John Zilke. They're great mates and have stuck with each other over a long period of time. Has had a win over Upham over 1,800 metres in the Gunsin.
He's he's big odds. Look, his form's okay. He was okay in the Grand Prix, and he did win that Gunsin, but he's big odds today, Worthy calls.
High midnight for Bart and James. Cummins to the great names, and Tim Clark arrived.
James has won a couple of Group 1s. Bart's won a lazy 268. Look, he's in good form. He's won his last couple. I like the horse. I think he'll be even better next year.
Quick Strike is the second of the Waller runners here with Tommy Berry aboard.
He was 5th in the Derby in Sydney, Pat. Now, that's normally good enough. Only beaten 2 lengths. He was my early tip for this race. He was disappointing in the Grand Prix. He needs to improve.
Tommy standing in for Jimmy Cassidy, who's out with a hamstring tear at the moment. Redoubtable Heart will be the 9, and that's the 3rd of Chris Waller's runners. James McDonald takes the ride. Look,
he was 3rd behind High Midnight a couple of starts ago. He was 2nd in the Grand Prix, beaten a length behind Upham. He's a chance for sure.
Well, the 11 is with the 10 out is Chilling with Dylan. Now, I mentioned this a local hope. I spoke to Ryan Wiggins at a promo shoot the other day, and he's got quite good confidence about Chilling with Dylan for Ben Aarons.
It'll be a great story if Ben can win. He hasn't been training for very long. Look, he's only won 1 race, but he's been placed 9 times. He's a good stayer. He's got an each-way chance. Philip
Stokes comes over from your way. Was here with Hucklebuck without a lot of success last year. Craig Williams aboard Thermogenic.
I like this horse, Pat. He didn't make it to the Derby in Adelaide. They took him to Melbourne. He was 3 wide all the way. He won. I think he's a live chance in this race.
Michael Rodd has won a couple of Queensland derbies, went back-to-back with Dariana and Shutoff in 2010 and 2011. Real favourite here on Rising Luck.
Yeah, Trevor Thomas, this will be a huge day for him. Look, he just got home at Ipswich. He was a hot favourite there. He had to win that race to get in, and he's done that, so he's a long priced.
Spur on Gold is the 15 for Pat Carey. Michael Carl, one of the top local jocks to ride.
It's already ridden a winner today, Michael. Look, Pat Carey's a great trainer of stayers. This horse is going very, very well. I think he's a chance. He comes with Caulfield form, and it could measure up.
The exotically named Grappa Brandy is the 16 for Scott Morrissey, and Robbie Fradd, great international jockey.
He's won Group 1s in 4 different countries, Robbie. He's been a great jockey and won the Hong Kong Premiership many years back. Look, this horse won at the Gold Coast as a favourite last start, but you can see the odds.
One of our greats, Hugh Bowman, is aboard All's In, the 17.
And Huey just wins Oaks and Derbies like it's having a cup of tea. I mean, he's just so good in the classics. He's absolutely brilliant with these. And look, this horse led at Ipswich. He's going to be at massive odds.
Zach Purton, Murray Baker. Harry, combination. You mentioned this, very interesting, was second emergency, gets a start.
And see the betting, Pat? I mean, we've been looking at 100 to 1 pops. This horse is $17. Zach Purton, when he got off the horse after running 12th from the Grand Prix, said to Murray, if he gets a start in the Derby, I will ride him. He's had 2 scratching, he gets in. I think he's got some hope.
Oh, they're not gambling with him. Is $17 in the ring. There's your field for the Derby. It's a hot field, but we have a hot favourite in Werther, and Werther is $2.25 at the moment. it's going to be a beauty, and not surprisingly, Pete Donegan and Bart.
It's been brilliant, but everything has worked out so well for the Brisbane Racing Club today so far.
Weather good, track good too, Bruce. And we spoke a little earlier about that the carnival has been spread out. Toowoomba, Gold Coast, Sunshine Coast have all hosted events of the carnival. So Doomben is in mint condition this afternoon.
Brilliant planning, because once Eagle Farm was out of business, it put a lot of pressure on this track, and I think they're to be applauded of the way they've gone about it. They've even taken the Tats Tiara, the big Group 1, to the Gold Coast in a couple of weeks' time. So full credit to what they've done here in Brisbane and Queensland throughout the last 5 or 6 weeks. It's been brilliant.
As you can see right at the end of that chute, so it's a tricky loading position. The horses have got to come from in front of the barrier, over the back. $600,000 at stake here, the Channel 7 Queensland Derby. We're down to the last 5 or 6 to move in. As I said, WERTHER slightly out 5 cents to $2.30, but a stranglehold on the betting.
What do you think? You and I like a bet. I mean, would you take the 230 WERTHER?
No, and I haven't. I'm sticking with the Queenslander, chilling with Dylan. Just on Ryan Wiggins' confidence a couple of weeks ago. Been a little bit of money for chilling with Dylan. I'm not a $2.30 better, so I'm looking for something to beat WERTHER, but WERTHER was very impressive last Saturday. I was here, and it was a good win over the older horses. No, we won't be surprised if he does the deed, so they're not too far away. Let's go to our caller for the Channel 7 Queensland Derby, the second of our Group 1s today. Here is David Fowler.
Now, Thermogenic about to come in, a last start Flemington winner. Only 3 out now. Sadler's Lake, he'll roll forward at the start. Magicool and Rising Luck. Michael Rod riding Rising Luck. He's no stranger to Derby success. Dariana 2010, shoot off 2011. He's on a roughie here, Rising Luck, who can stay though. Last 2 to come in now, so we're just about set to go. WERTHER will run 240 on UBET Tote. 230 fixed, 230 on track. He is a short price favourite to take out the blue ribbon. Now we just wait on these last 2 to come in. Magicool comes forward, and Sadler's Lake in the All Cerise will be the last to move in. We're just about ready to go. This is a huge crowd here at Doomben, ready to see them break from the gates. And now they're all in. Stand by for a start. Jim Roberts is on the stand. He switches on the light. The gates open. They're racing in the Derby. WERTHER began reasonably well to the inside, just ridden along in the early stages. Thermogenic began well with Harry and Redoubtable Heart. High Midnight's right up there. So is Worthy Cause, and Upham's going forward. He's deep early. Even wider, Magicool and Sadler's Lake. Cutting in behind them, getting to midfield, was Chillin' with Dylan. Then Rising Luck, followed by Jumbo Prince. All's in, dropping out to be third last. Grappa Brandy is second last, and Spur on Gold is last in the first call as the Derby field goes to the mile turn. Thermogenic, High Midnight, Upham, a line of 3 in the lead. WERTHER is just cramped for room to the inside. He wanted to race a bit ungenerously. Worthy Cause going around them. So is Sadler's Lake and Chillin' with Dylan. It's a bunch field at a slow speed. Redoubtable Hearts back to midfield. Then Magicool 3 wide. Followed by Quick Strike, Harry, Rising Luck. Jumbo Prince, All's in, Grappa Brandy from the inside. 3 deep Magicool around High Midnight. WERTHER's back about 8th on the rail, 5 off the lead. Rising Luck's on the way forward. Then came Harry, followed by Redoubtable Heart. Well back was Quick Strike. Then All's in, Jumbo Prince, Spur on Gold, and Grappa Brandy is last of all. WERTHER is getting shuffled out of it in the Derby. He's back worse than midfield. Meanwhile, Sadler's Lake at the 600 metres, had it by 3/4 over Chillin' with Dylan. All's in, a long shot, went up wide, so did Rising Luck. Upham needs a run then, Worthy Cause, Magicool. Right to the outside, Spur on Gold, then High Midnight. Well back, coming to the turn, Thermogenic. WERTHER's going easily. He's going easily, but he's in traffic. Some runs are coming now. Sadler's Lake led. Chillin' with Dylan tries hard. Then up against the rails run. WERTHER is now emerging. Magicool down the outside. Sadler's Lake led the way. Outside Magicool. Magicool reached the lead. WERTHER is coming. Will it be too late? Yes, it will. Magicool beat WERTHER. Third over Sadler's Lake or Jumbo Prince. Behind them, Grappa Brandy, Thermogenic, Quick Strike, Chillin' with Dylan, Worthy Cause, Redoubtable Heart, High Midnight, Spur on Gold, Upham, Rising Luck, Harry, and All's in is last in 2:15.09.
Burris here with me. You've got a pretty excited lot here. Well done.
We do, yeah. Thanks very much. It's always hard to win a Group 1, and the boys have been patient, and today's the day, so it's fantastic.
Well, you have to be patient. He's running in his 3rd derby today, but he's performed really well in the other 2.
He has. Look, he's sort of still been maturing all the way through mentally, and I think last week against the older horses was his best run, where he was chasing all the way to the line. And I said to James today, you rode him perfect last week. You might have hit the front too early in Adelaide, and do what you did last week, and came through, and he fought all the way along.
I know you're probably only looking at yours, but the favourite being cluttered up and shuffled back throughout the race didn't do you any favours. He ran on well, Werther, but you just out-sprinted him.
Yeah, exactly. He was in it. I thought we'd be a little bit closer, but we decided to opt to sit behind him, and yeah, came out and we just out-sprinted him in the end.
Do you look to the spring now with him?
Yeah, he's going to go for a rest now. He was born at Element Hill Stud. He's going to go back there and stay up in the sun up here, and yeah, we'll look towards the spring.
And just one last thing, Levi. Racing has its ups and downs. It's been a testing time of late. This makes it pretty easy to get up in the morning when you see things like this.
It does, definitely. Yep, ups and downs, but you always hang in there. You have the right horses come through and you get a bit of luck, and it all happens for you.
Soak the moment in. Well done, Levi. Congratulations.
Thanks very much. Good on you guys.